What is going on, guys? Big Al227 here, and today I'm bringing you a really interesting game. So I'm a huge fan of tactics games, obviously, and there's a brand new tactics game with PvP elements and PvE, kind of little chess-like, objective-based, and I'm really here for it. It's called Skygard Arena. Brand new. It is incredible. The graphics look amazing, and we're just going to go over it today, have some fun with it, talk about the different personas in there, personalities, the characters, the mechanics of it, and yeah, we're just going to check it out. So, to get started, Skygard Arena is a turn-based tactics game, and it's a mix of objective-based and capturing the point, kind of like domination in that sense, where you'll have these points on the map that are basically like these towers and these columns that you could spawn in on, teleport to, bounce around, and then you'll have a main column that functions as basically the main base, essentially like in a MOBA where there's towers, and if you get to the last point, it's your main base, you destroy it, and you win. So that's basically the premise where if you make your way to their final point and you destroy it, you basically win. But in order to get there, you kind of have to traverse some characters that are blocking your way. So there's a range of characters. To start, there's only 3, but then you unlock more as you go. And personally, I find this really cool. I like the characters. I like the way they're doing it too. They add in a dynamic where each character has basically like a paradigm shift, where they'll have one subset where let's just say it's focused in on like more defense or support. They'll have another subset of more attack-based DPS, like that. So you could have a really balanced team in the sense of free customization. And the more you play with these characters, the more you unlock with them. Like you'll get artifacts, which are basically items that function as, again, accessories, passives, buffs, anything along those lines. So just to get started, I really enjoyed the way it looked. I don't even remember their names. I had a sniper, this massive lizard guy, and the wizard. Obviously, I'm always going to pick the wizard. And a lot of things matter when it comes to setting up and positioning. So when you build your crew and this team of 3, it's a 3v3, where you place them is their initiative. So it's really interesting how you could set up basically, okay, who's going to go first, who's going to go second, who's going to go third. And in that, I personally set up my wizard going first as a support, so he could set things up, give people like buffs and bonuses, and just go from there. And then usually second, I'd have the tank, the big lizard guy, who I set to, instead of the main tank focus, I set him to the DPS focus, where he would poison, more crowd control, and kind of honing the field. And that really worked out for me in the sense that I love crowd control. I love being able to control an area, debuff people, really bring them down. And then that played really well into the sniper class. Instead of just me picking them off, which really was helpful, I was able to debuff them in their little columns. So when you go inside the column, it's basically an attrition battle. You have to destroy it first and then destroy anyone who's inside of there to reclaim it. Or if it's unclaimed, you can just claim it right off the rip. And this leads to a really, really interesting power dynamic where you can have a really strong character in there just guarding it, and they will be unable to cap it unless they destroy that character and then go through the whole process. But if you capture it, the small ones have 50 health, which can be easily destroyed, usually in a turn or two, and it still leads to this strategy where I have to prioritize where I'm going to do like what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and when I'm going to do it. Every turn matters. So you really are playing chess in, hey, I have to set up where exactly these people are going to walk, how far they're going to walk, where they're going to go, and then from there, you still get people to come back. So when I say that, I know I phrase that really poorly, your units come back. The 3 units that you have will go on a cooldown after they die. And basically they can spawn in at any of the columns or pillars that you have. I keep forgetting what they're called, columns, pillars, whatever it might be. Once they respawn there, they have their normal turn, they can take an action, and you could play this to your advantage in the sense of, hey, you could really drive someone up, start doing a lot of damage, let them destroy like the columns that they possess, and then if they die, bring them back in the turn closer up to that base. Now, this doesn't work, I'm assuming, well in like high ranking PvP, but it does open up a lot of room for this creative nature of how to approach every single battle in a tactical way. Personally, I find this to be intuitive. I think it's very rare to find a turn-based PvP type game like this. And again, this just leaves me like really excited for what's to come for it. I really want to unlock all the characters. I really want to get my name on that leaderboard. So I'll probably be playing more PvP soon, and especially just keep following it as the game progresses. So let's talk about the objective. So the objective of the game, as I mentioned before, destroy the enemy base, but there's also another way to win. It's not their base, their column, their main one. There's another way to win, and that's through the points. So every turn and every time you get a kill, you contribute to this bar in the upper right hand corner that fills up, and once it hits 25 points, you win. So whoever gets to 25 first also wins. So it's either you destroy their main column, pillar, whatever it might be, or you get the 25 points by just controlling more 4 columns or pillars every turn. So every turn you'll get 1 point per pillar, or 1 point per enemy killed. So I remember in my last run, I was kind of deadlocked, kind of getting in a chokehold, but ultimately I was like, okay, I can't reach their base, but I can win just by holding these positions, setting up a really strong defense, and just healing myself, buffing myself, giving myself barriers with my support mage, and that's exactly what I did. So instead of having to just brute force, which you actually cannot do in this game, you really cannot brute force things. You might think you have a tank, but they'll cut through that tank like butter. It does not matter. They will rip you apart. And I like that. I like the fact that you have to actually sit back, think about what you're going to do, play it out, and then just go from there. So there's also a few other things I wanted to mention in this, and I think it's the progression. The progression in itself is interesting in you're rewarded after every single match, but it's also the way you unlock other characters. I know I played a couple other games and I unlocked this character with, she released vines, and then I unlocked another character who's kind of like a more suave, like gunslinger. And the way I unlocked them, I just played. There was no microtransactions. There was no nothing to buy. I played, I completed it, and hey, I got these characters after playing against them though. So I don't know if it was something I did to unlock them, but I don't know. Maybe you have to like play against the characters to unlock them, or you just complete, like have a certain amount of level ups for specific characters to unlock them. But something that I really liked, I was kind of surprised by, like, oh wow, I unlocked this character and they're cool. But I would say your core 3, the first 3 you get are goated. Now, personally, my hopes, and just, it's not a complaint, it's a, maybe they could add like a toggle for this. I think the game needs to be sped up just a little bit. It does feel slow. The character movement does feel a little slow, like when you're navigating. It does feel intentional, but if you had like an option, especially in like the AI PvE, just to turn it up a little bit, that would be great. So that's really all I have to say. I've really enjoyed this. Really go check it out, support them. This is a gem in the rough, honestly. I'm truly shocked. The art style is incredible. The game is fun. It's really fun. If you like turn-based tactics games with some PvP and PvE content, go play it. Enjoy yourself. If you want to play against me, let's do it. Like, let me know in the comments below. Like, send me a DM in Twitter, or like reach out to me. Even the devs, if you want to talk, you want to sit down and have an interview, let me know. I would love to talk to you. Learn about your thought process on your inspirations and all those things, and just let me know. I'm here for it. I want to know more. I want to get into the trenches, and I just really want to make like a community around this. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Do you guys do best? Support the devs, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.